Hello and welcome back to Broadside Game with me, Zug, and today we're going to take a look at some more Zealot builds. I know it's been a while since I've put out any builds, but that's because Darktide hasn't changed since basically
Do you
Christmas.
feel it? More soldiers are coming.
Thank you, Syphonia, that's really useful. But yeah, they haven't changed much, they added the penance system, and that's about it. But we do have a kind of decent update coming on Tuesday, which is the Ogren update, and we also get a bolt pistol. So let's refresh the build, shall we, and see how they're working after about 6 months. So the first one we're looking at is an Eviscerator build, as you can see. And this is how it works. So first of all, go over the equipment. So we're using this Tigaris Mark 15 Heavy Eviscerator. This is arguably the better of the two Eviscerators, just because of its attack pattern. And how we're using it at the moment is with 25% damage to maniacs, 25% damage to flak armored enemies with Shred and Rampage. Now, obviously, you want Shred and Rampage at rank 4 if you can get it. I, after 2 years of playing, still haven't found those goddamn blessings. But, you know, is what it is. And as for the modifiers, you probably want mobility to be your dump stat and penetration to be higher. But, you know, if you can get a god roll, go for it. If not, go for the best you've got. And next up, with the ranged weapon, I'm using the Akatran Mark II Heavy Las Pistol, but you can use whatever gun you want in this slot. I just prefer this or the Stub Revolver. And again, we're going for perks to damage specialists and maniacs. You can drop the specialists for flak if you want. Again, use what you've got. It doesn't have to be a god roll. And blessings, we're going for Dum Dum and Infernus, because we're going to be quite close and personal with everything. And we've got a lot of crit in this build, so Infernus is basically going to be hitting on everything it touches. And Dum Dum's just really nice for increased damage. As even with these ranged weapons, you can snipe specials and elites pretty easily in 1 or 2 shots. But obviously, if you don't like the las pistol, you can go for the Shredder auto pistol. Not quite as hard hitting or accurate, but it is good for just running and gunning. Again, I'm running Pinning Fire and Inspiring Barrage on this. Or you can go for the Zorona Mark II LA's Quick Draw Stub Revolver. And this I'm running Maniac Specialists, again, just because it was on it, Surgical and Hand Cannon. And the blessings are quite important on this one. Perks, again, kind of important. But the roll for the modifiers came out quite nice on this. Mobility lowest, everything else up about as high as it can be for this level. So, that's the weapons. Let's look at the curios. You can kind of run what you want on the curios, unless you're running obviously a Martin build where you need the wounds, but I've been running mostly max health, as we don't really want too much toughness, but the max health helps an awful lot. So with this, I've gone for toughness, max health, toughness regeneration, and that is on every single one of them, as we can claw back some toughness with our built-in talents, and the health is just there to give us a big cushion against being smeared across the floor. Right, let's take a look at the talents. So we'll start here on the right side first. Backstabber into Scourge. Scourge is very, very important. Melee hits on bleeding enemies grant 10% critical chance for 3 seconds, stacks 3 times. This is an incredibly heavily crit-orientated build, so this is just going to keep us rolling. And then going into Enduring Faith, toughness damage reduction on critical hits for 4 seconds. Again, crit-centric build, so we're trying to flesh out as much as we can with that. Then we're going to grab Disdain, 5% damage on your next melee attack for each enemy hit, stacks up to 5 times. That works really nicely with the Eviscerator, because we're going to be swinging about, hitting hordes all the time. And then we're going to go down the centre here for Anointed in Blood, into Purge the Unclean, and Restoring Faith. On taking damage, heal 25% of that damage occurs over 5 seconds. And then we're taking the Immolation Grenade. This grenade is amazing for clearing out hordes, or just dropping while you have to run away and get some dot damage on everything. And then we're going to jump over here to the left. We're grabbing Until Death. Fatal damage instead grants you invulnerability for 5 seconds, occurs every 2 minutes. Holy Revenant, this has been heavily nerfed in the last 6 months. You used to be able to claw yourself back up to full health, but that's not really possible anymore. But it's better than nothing. And then we're grabbing Benediction, 15% toughness damage reduction for unit allies in coherency. This is an augmented version of the base aura, the Emperor's Will. So basically, old school Zealot talent. And then we're jumping down here for Fury of the Faithful. And we are picking up redoubled zeal because we want that double charge. Now, Fury of the Faithful is a very good talent to give us just baked in crit while we're doing it, but also if you charge up and then hit, every single one of those hits is a crit. I'll try and do it where the actual camera catches it. Well, messed that one up. Basically, just before you hit charge, you ramp the weapon, charge, and wind up your heavy attack as you're going. And every hit in that series of hits is a crit. Like that. Alright, let's go back to the talents. Right, and here we are going to be grabbing Sustained Assault for increased damage, Faithful Frenzy for increased attack speed, and Punishment for just increased impact strength, and also Uninterruptible is quite fun, but mostly it's because we need to come down here. I mean, this is probably one of the weakest out of the 3 talents here, but we want Blazing Piety. So we're going to be grabbing Invocation of Death, melee critical hits, reduce combat ability cooldown by 1.5 seconds. This is going to give you just insane amounts of access to Fury of the Faithful. So this and this, they're basically going to be working off of each other to keep you critting, to keep it cooling down, to keep you critting. So you're going to want to be charging as much as you can. Then Blazing Piety, 15% critical hit chance for 8 seconds when in Fury. Fury is triggered when 25 enemies have died within 25 meters. When you really start rolling this build, this is going to just be hitting all of the time. And then down here, Fury Rising, critical hits also count towards triggering Fury. And then Righteous Warrior, 10% critical hit chance from Blazing Piety. So, as you can see, very, very, very crit-centric build. And you get the Immolation Grenade, which is my favourite grenade. And as for ranged weapons, as I said, the pistols are generally my go-to here. And it's pretty much guaranteed the Zealot will be given access to the bolt pistol. I haven't gotten any info on it yet. I have tried to get some info on it, and yeah, again, nothing. But I think the bolt pistol is going to be quite funny, especially for the Zealot, as what we are doing with this mostly is we are picking off targets like gunners and ragers from afar while we're charging in. But I mean, you know, as you can see, it hits pretty hard, even on a las pistol. But as I said, if you don't like the las pistol, you know, use the quick draw stub revolver. They do the exact same thing, just in slightly different ways. And as for the grenade, it's generally used exactly how you think it would be. Big hordes following you, lob a grenade in. It's just a big fiery grenade, you know. It works exactly the way you think it does. And it does quite a lot of damage. It is also very, very good when you're fighting monstrosities. You drop one at your feet and try and keep it within the fire while you're fighting it. Obviously, you won't be able to keep it in the fire all the time because, you know, grabs, vomits, knocks back, all that sort of thing. But it's really nice for just adding that extra layer of damage in while you're fighting. There you go. That is the typical heavy Eviscerator build. And I really hope you enjoy it as much as I do, because this is one of my favourite go-to builds for the Zealot. It's just a fun, swingy, violent build. Anyway, I hope you like it. I hope you get along with it. If you do, you know, let me know in the comments. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please like, subscribe, ring that little bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And I shall see you all for the next one. So until then, see you later.